What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Brandon Coin YouTube channel. So anyway, I'm just back from, me and my family went on a short little drive out of town, and while I left, everything was doing better on my salad earnings. Had 1, 2, 3 rigs up and running, a 3090 in the living room rig, a 3060, actually 4 rigs, a 3060 rig in the playroom, a 3060 rig in my kid's bedroom, and then a 3060 rig in my bedroom. So, like stuff was starting to progress. And I had all of them mining enabled because I was using those to help heat the house. Well, I've been out of town, and my brother was out of town too because it was a funeral, so the whole family went down. I come back, and I'm about, I don't know, 3 hours into a 6 or 7 hour drive, probably longer than that. It did take me longer than that because I have kids. My brother calls and he's like, hey, I just got back. I don't have power. Anyway, he lives like a mile down the road from me. So I'm like, let me check my cameras. I don't have power either. And it looks like, the last reported time the camera was on was about an hour ago. So the power's been out for an hour. I call my brother and I'm like, hey, I looked on the outage map and it looks like just like our road is out. So ride up the road and see if you see anything. He calls me back, and sure enough, a tree fell over on a power line and knocked out power just for like our stretch of road. So it affected like one neighborhood, and then like my house, my brother's house, my mom's house, all down the line. Unintentional, something you can't plan for, but that means all my salad rigs went off. And it was off, the power was out for about 4 hours. Now I'm back, the power's back up online. I just turned all the machines on. I'm gonna remote into them and actually enable salad, and make sure that mining is enabled and all that kind of stuff. But my house is cold because nothing was pumping heat, and I didn't leave the heat or the AC on because I figured I got residual heat coming off of those units. Probably a combined, a few thousand BTUs, not much, but it should be enough to keep the house warm right now because it's not like super cold in North Carolina. It's just cool. And it looks like I was on track. Let me flip it around and I'll show you guys what my earnings is or was, and then show you what I was on track for. All right, so the last 24 hours is obviously skewed because it's been, I've had no rigs running for 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 hours, but we did $3.55. Obviously, there's a lot of up and down, but there's always some sort of earning. That's because I have mining enabled. So when it doesn't have compute workloads, they revert back to mining workloads, which is what I want because I don't want systems to idle because I need heat. The worst case scenario is I'd have idling systems, and then I have to turn my electric heat on because that's all I have here is electric heat. So we're going to be burning power this winter time no matter what. I'd rather it make something, even though mining doesn't make much. Regardless, though, on average, I was seeing about a little over 20 cents an hour, which is somewhere in the range of $5 to $6 a day, 20 to 25 cents an hour. Not great, but definitely better than $3 in 24 hours. Let's look at the 7-day graph. Yeah, it looks like, so on 8/11 yesterday we did $5.19, and it looks like I was on track to break that and do a little bit more than that today, but it is what it is. Take that with a big old grain of salt on one of those things that you can't plan for. And some people are like, oh man, you need battery backup. But there's no way I could have a battery backup on every single system in all these different rooms and my Wi-Fi router to be able to run my systems for hours on end. Obviously, I'm not away from my home very often, and we don't have power outages very often, but it's always just still one of those situations where it's just like, dang. So other than that, I have noticed that, the 3060s have been rented more than my 3090. I have other 3090s I got to get back up and running. I've just been going through them and kind of getting them ready to be in different places. So we'll have some more data points, but I want to get back up to about 8 or 9 rigs. I think that'll be a good amount of heat in the house, and just kind of maybe scale up as winter time scales up. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming out. Really appreciate it. Let me know down below, how have your earnings been? Good, bad, better, worse. I know this is probably going to affect me pretty bad, having so much downtime and having all of them drop whatever kind of job or workload they're on because of a power outage. But, you know, can't plan for it. So anyways, thanks for coming out. I really appreciate it. I'll see you on the next one. Adios.